Imagine being a young dancer, finally earning your first pair of pointe shoes. But when it's time to take the stage, you realize you can't find a pair that matches your skin tone. This is a reality many dancers of color face. According to CNN, the practice known as pancaking involves applying foundation to ballet shoes to match a dancer's skin tone. For centuries, ballet has embraced a uniform look, but that uniform wasn't designed with diversity in mind. Following the murder of George Floyd in 2020, major dancewear brands like Capezio and Block began offering a wide range of skin tone options. This change came after a petition on change.org that called for more inclusive dancewear. While this was a step forward, some dancers say there's still more work to be done. Meet Fábio Mariano, a native of Rio de Janeiro and dancer with Collage Dance Collective and co-founder of Blacks in Ballet. Together with dancers Ingrid Silva and Rohan Galdino, they created the nonprofit in 2020 to highlight and celebrate Black dancers and dancers of color around the world.
Classical ballet standard, which I feel is pretty universal, where the looks that they want for classical ballet is not the look of a Black dancer or of a dancer of color to do the leading roles. They have certain standards that they want to keep. They want the white one in Swan Lake to be a white dancer. They want the prince to have princely features like the ones in the Disney movies, you know. So I feel like that carries throughout the companies, all the classical ballet companies. There was still very much, you know, oh, you can't do this role because you don't look the part. And people just accepted that. Ballerinas of color, if they wanted to do certain roles, they would have to pancake themselves with white pancake and to look more pale on stage and stuff like that. And you can see I'm very fair skinned. I'm not very dark. So even for me, you know, I didn't struggle much with that, but I remember having conversations with teachers and other fellow dancers being like, just be careful that you don't tan too much because your nose is already a little wide and you can't be too tan. Make sure you use sunscreen when you go to the beach because you can't get darker than this, you know, stuff like that. That at the time, I just thought it was like, oh, okay, that's what it is. That's what I have to do.
Representation takes center stage at Hampton University. The Terpsichorean Dance Company was founded in 1934 by Charles Holston Williams at Hampton University in Hampton, Virginia. Today, the company holds the title as the longest-running dance organization on Hampton's campus. Third-year kinesiology major Antonae Johnson says being part of the company has allowed her to embrace self-expression.
So we choose what we want to wear, and we don't really have to fit any guidelines to impress judges. It's more so our audience and who we dance for. You know, Black dancers and Black bodies are always being judged because of how they naturally are. You know, like I said, being Black, we're curvier. We don't really fit the standards of a ballet body because we have a butt that sticks out. We have bigger boobs. You know, we have hips. These are all things that you don't see in ballet, but there are Black ballerinas. So,
creating a space for diverse dancers has been the mission at Beauty for Ashes Contemporary School of Dance. Artistic director David Riddick has been building that vision since 2009. Riddick says his goal was to provide a space where diverse dance could thrive, not only as a studio or competition team, but as a full-fledged touring company.
What allowed me to create Riddick Dance was just being in a space where there is no Black dance. And when I say Black dance, I am speaking of not like a dance studio or a competition team, which we all have our place in a dance room, but a touring company. We're the first African-American professional touring company in Virginia all the way down to South Carolina. So it gave space for us to have a voice and be in some wonderful places. So when the skin tone, flesh tone tights started coming out, I thought that was really great because when I was coming up, the women just wore pink tights, and not every time is that flattering. Or you're trying to wear all black, or you have people that say we're too muscular and we don't fit in a certain piece. So even dancing in ballet, it came with racial boundaries, I would say, racial conversation, or just racial acts. Let me say that. I was too muscular for this, or I was the only minority in the company. So they're looking at me really weird because my body structure is different. I didn't have the best turnout as like most of the dancers. Sometimes you're not getting cast the lead because some of those normal European roles are played by your Caucasian brothers and sisters. But now I think things are really evolving. I think still on some level there are some challenges in some of the powerhouse companies. I think what you see a lot, they will use us, and this is in entertainment in general, to sell the box office, to bring people out. But the treatment and the placement is totally not the same.
The future of dance inclusiveness is still a work in progress. Theresa Ruth Howard, founder of Mode Ballet, a platform dedicated to preserving and promoting Black artists in ballet, says the art form should continue to be ever evolving.
I would love for ballet to, and I think it is becoming more reflective of itself, and interrogate itself more, challenge itself more, become more avant-garde, and not be as reverential of itself in the past, and to see itself as an ever evolving form.